Welcome to part 127 of Flipping Tables. And this is December the 14th, 2025 by man's calendar. And it is the first day of the dedication of lights. It's Hanukkah. And again, I'm asking y'all to remember those that were attacked in Australia, the Jewish brothers and sisters over there in Australia that was killed or injured or what have you. Um, but anyways, uh, I talked about that in part 126 quite a bit as I tried to talk about the lighting of the menorah and why it's important. It is about honoring God Himself. And it's not just about lighting the menorah, y'all. It's about singing praises to God at that time. And the candles need to burn for at least 30 minutes. And you light those and you pray. And you give God honor and glory for that. And you do that all week through the next 8 days. It's about honoring God and giving Him glory. And it's amazing. And if you can't do this, and you can't give God glory for 8 days straight, how are you ever going to praise Him around His throne? I mean, for real. If you can't worship Jesus for 8 days without something being in it for you, no, Hanukkah's not about the food. It's not about, though there is food, it's not about the food. It's not about any gifts for those that do Hanukkah gifts. It's not about even lighting the menorah itself. It's about honoring God. And that's what I'm trying to get you all to understand. It's about honoring God. And that's what I'm asking you to do, is honor God and not people. Honor God Himself. Unlike the pagan tradition of Christmas, which honors people and even fake deities that y'all worship, even though you say you don't. Well, you do. Anyways, it's getting not on to time for me to prepare my meal and stuff, so I want to get into this video. I want to get into this word because I have a lot set up for tonight in honoring the Lord, and I really want to get into it. I want to enjoy my first day. And I won't lie, when I first started into this morning when I rose up, I felt such a hopelessness and such a sorrow. And I was talking to the Lord about it all morning as I prepped and got ready and was trying to get things ready. And I couldn't understand why I felt this just hopelessness. And I had not been online at all or anything today. And I was just praying and seeking the Lord, and just this overwhelming sorrow come over me all at once, and just this utter hopelessness. And I couldn't understand why, and I started praying. And the Lord told me I needed to check my Facebook before I begun this stuff, and so I did. And I got to see Rico's post about the attack in Australia, and my heart just broke. Because though I'm just learning this stuff, and I'm just starting out and just trying like a newborn baby, figuring this stuff out. My heart broke for them because I could imagine if tragedy hit and prevented me from being able to serve my God during this time. My heart would be broken. I would feel hopeless. This is why we should pray for them. This is why. But I light the menorah to honor God, not because I'm Jewish, because I am the Lord's, and I cannot claim to be Jewish. I don't know anything about being Jewish, and I don't seek to do that, and I'm not trying to go back under the law, and that has nothing to do with going back under the law. Keeping the feast of the Bible is not about going back under the law. It's about honoring God. I wish you all knew that. Whoops, sorry, there goes that word again. Whew, I gotta take and ban that from my Rolodex. I pray that you all would understand that, because I don't want to speak any witchcraft words like wish and so forth. When I say wish, it's like a terminology of hoping. It's something I'm hoping for. It's not about trying to make magic, because I don't believe in that, and I'm not going to do it. But anyways, I pray to the Most High God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, Shem, Adonai, Elohim, Yahweh, Yah, Jesus, the Most High God. I pray to Him that He teach you all how to truly dedicate yourselves to Him. That is my prayer for you this Hanukkah. Not just for the Jewish people, but for all who claim to love the Lord. The Christians, the Jews, what have you. I pray that God teach you how to honor Him and how to love Him and to respect Him above all. And that is what this Bible reading is about right now. This particular section, Exodus 20. Because I think that people need to be reminded of what the true Ten Commandments say. Because things have been changed so much over the years that people now think that love God and love one another is the only commandments. Those are great commandments, and we should do that. But if you love God, you're gonna keep these commandments. You're gonna listen to Him, because He said, "Love us, tell me, keep my commandments." He that say he loved me and keep not my commandments is a liar. I don't want to be a liar. Do you want to be a liar? I don't want to be a liar. I want to keep these commandments. So let's get into the Exodus 20. And God spake. Now remember, this is God Himself. Jesus, for those of you who are in the grace covenant. God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. See, there's another miracle we should honor Him for. Right there is another, that, in fact, that is one of the reasons that I light a menorah. I am grateful for all these things. Thou shalt have, now here is the first commandment of God. Y'all seem to think them other two things, them statements he made was commandments. No, a command is telling you to do something. That's verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods, little g gods, before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Guess what y'all been doing? Got all kinds of graven images. I've been trying to get rid of all the junk out of this place, left here by others, not nothing of mine. I never cared for such things. And I guess the Lord just put that in my heart. These are not treasures to me. And I didn't even know at that time, these commandments, because I was little and young and growing up, and I just had to grow up with the way that the Lord taught me, because these things were not taught in my home like this. A lot of people seem to think that, yes, they were, but they weren't. And I just tried to honor God the best that I could with what knowledge I had until He taught me to read. Yes, the Lord taught me to read. I owe Him a great deal. I just don't know. And I can never repay anything that I owe Him. So why should I not honor Him with my life? It's the only thing I have to honor Him with. I don't have silver and gold or fancy things. I don't have money or wealth or power. But I have my life. And that I can use to honor my God with. And I do by talking to you about Him. Little is much if He is in it. That's right. Little is much if God is in it. It doesn't have to be a great big thing. Just a small, simple act of kindness to someone when they are hopeless. Like praying for these Jewish people, especially on during this time of Hanukkah, when it's about hope anyway, because God restored their hope by letting that oil burn for 8 days when it was only enough for one. But God did that Himself. And I love when He does miraculous things. I really do. I love it. It's like, ah. But anyway, I love the Lord. But I want to talk about verse 4 a little bit. We're going to expound a little bit on verse 4. Thou shalt not. That means don't do it. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above. Your angel figurines and stuff y'all got? Those are idols. You think, oh, they're just decoration to help boost my faith. No, they're not. They're graven images, and you're breaking God's heart by having those. I used to have a lot of angels surrounding me. My mama got them for me because she knew I loved the Lord greatly, and she thought that was stuff that would please me, so she bought me a lot of angels. I don't have those anymore. They're graven images. I don't want anything to come between me and God. Anything. No, it's not self-righteousness. And no, I'm not saved by my works. This is how I honor God, though, by respecting His word. Most children today don't even honor their parents at all. And when their parents tell them to do something, I've seen this myself, the children will go ahead and do exactly what the parents told them not to, which is what y'all are doing to God every day with your graven images. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. That means no birds, no angels, no eagles, no whatever, hawks, no fish, like the Jesus fish emblem, y'all so crazy about. When and where did that come from? That's not biblical. That's not biblical. And no. It's not a real thing. This is just a type of graven image that Satan has taught y'all to worship. Just like the cross. Oh, here comes the black on that one. Yeah, I said that. Here, just like the cross. There is no power in the cross. The power was in the one that hung on the cross, and he came down, went into the tomb for 3 days, and then he got up and he walked with us for 40 days after that, and then he ascended back to the Father. Right? Right. He ascended back to heaven, back into his own glory. In other words, the flesh was done, and he went back to the Spirit. For those of you that wrestle with that and have a hard time understanding it. But y'all are not honoring God, and you want to say you love Him. How? You're breaking the first 2 commandments of God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And when you say that you're keeping eagles and flags and stuff like that just because that's a symbol of your freedom, you're putting your freedom and what you see as your freedom before God. That's not your freedom anyway. It's really not, because without God, we wouldn't have any freedom. Those things did not get you free. An eagle, a statue of an eagle, that didn't set you free. A flag that Betsy Ross sewed, that didn't set you free. These things did not set you free. He whom the Son has set free is free indeed. This is your freedom. And if you're still living thinking you gotta have these things, then you're not free. The Son has not set you free. You're still worshiping your idols. Things of this earth that you're not even supposed to have. That's the first and second commandment right there, y'all. Not the great commandments. The first and second commandment. Going on, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. Don't tell me you don't bow yourselves down to your Christmas trees. I used to have one. I know how you put them gifts under there. You have to bow down and get under there and put them gifts under there. Yeah. And we're not even supposed to have it, according to Jeremiah. But y'all don't want to have that. Jeremiah 10, I believe it is. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just using that as an example. This is still a graven image that you're bowing down to. And you say, I'm not bowing down to that. Right. You put it up and you put them lights on it and you decorate it and you spend all your time and effort doing all this every year. You're worshiping that tree and the gifts that go under it. That is not a symbol of God in any way. That's a lie the devil told. That is not a symbol. This is not a way to honor God. You want to honor God? Do something for Him. Feed the homeless. Shelter the homeless. Clothe them that don't have clothing. Help the poor. Comfort the feeble. Visit the widows and the shut-in. Help the orphans. This is what God has told us Himself in His Word to do. You want to honor God, not yourselves. Back to verse 5. Thou shalt not bow thyself, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Shouldn't hate the Lord. This is what it causes. And you may say, well, I don't hate the Lord. That's why I'm doing this Christmas stuff. You're doing pagan traditions to honor God, who tells you in His Word not. That's not honoring God. You're breaking His Word. You're blaspheming against God. Because you're breaking His Word. You're breaking a covenant with Him. Whichever covenant you in. Even if you under the grace covenant, by having these things. Because why? Because you're breaking the commandments of God. Well, I'm just putting it to you straight. That's all I can do. Because He says, I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Do you understand why, America, that you are being judged? How about the rest of you Gentile nations that do these things and keep these traditions of man? Because you've been hating God. You claim that you're a Christian and that you serve Him, but it's only mouth out because your actions show otherwise. Because you have not come out. You have not been born again. You are not a new creature in Christ. You're still serving the old ways, the old idols. You're still committing idolatry against God. Jesus, in your name, please let this word go forth, I pray. Set them at liberty that are thine, Lord. Set them at liberty that are thine. Going on, verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. See that? That's who He's going to show mercy on. That's who the grace covenant is for. Those that love Him and who are keeping His commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. You know how y'all be a sitting around and you be honoring Jesus like He's a cuss word. That's taking His name in vain. Don't invoke that holy name unless you're either thanking Him for something or you're coming to Him in prayer to ask Him for something. Let's not, or you're just having a conversation with Him. That's good too. But don't be invoking that name for no other reason, and it's certainly not a cuss word. So don't be using it like it is. I don't likes it, and I know he don't neither. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Y'all think if you don't say his name, Jews, that you're safe from this? No, that's just as bad, because you denying his name. Anyways, going on. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless. That means without punishment. That takes his name in vain. Don't tell me you're a Christian and then turn around and say, well, Jesus Christ, about something like it's a cuss word. No, no, and no. You might as well drop the F-bomb. You'd be safer dropping the F-bomb. You'll soap in your mouth and wash that dirtiness out and that'd be fine. But you know, you claim to be Christian and then you talk like this about God. No, no, and no. So, going on though. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Y'all don't want to honor the Sabbath. You're supposed to keep the Sabbath. You don't want to honor that. And no, it's not on Sunday just because the Catholic Church decided to change it to Sunday. They don't circumcise God. They don't get to change God's days. See, that's what the antichrist does. That's what the antichrist system does, is changes God's times and laws. No. No. And no. It's still Friday evening from sunset through Saturday sunset. That's still Sabbath. It doesn't matter what man says. Man does not have the authority to change God's word or God's will. Man does not circumcise what God himself has told us. And yet y'all want to listen to it. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Let me see if I can get this just a little bit here. And do all thy work. Okay, it's not going to be in the frame as good, but y'all should be following along with your own word anyway. So, verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. And in it thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son. Now listen, who's not supposed to work around you either. Not just you. Thou or thou son. Thou nor thy son. Not thy daughter. Thy manservant. Nor thy maidservant. Nor thy cattle. Nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. That means you're not even supposed to milk your cows on that day. Many of y'all be doing these things. You want to say, oh, well, what will my animals do if I don't feed them? Well, hello, they'll fast for a day. They ain't going to die from one night. Put enough provisions out for them the day before. Same thing you got to do for yourselves. Y'all don't want to do. Going on. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and sea, heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. He hallowed it, y'all, to keep it holy. He didn't say, when you feel like it, change this day to another day. No, that's not what he said. See, because you're not resting with him if it's not on the same day he's resting, because he's working. And yeah, he rests, because he has to set the example. Anyway, I'm out of time on this particular video. I'll see you in the next part as soon as I get a chance to get it up.